You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, OFW rights advocate and incoming Migrant Workers Secretary Susan Toots Ople. Toots, so good to see you again. Welcome to The Source.
Yes, good morning, Pinky. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Nung nalaman po ng mga tao na ikaw yung ninominate for the secretary, for the post of Secretary of Migrant Workers, marami pong natuwa dahil sa tagal, dekada ninyong pagtutulong sa mga OFWs. First I wanted to, I know you said first kailangan yung pag-isipan ito and consult with your family, but now that you've accepted this, how confident are you, siguro as a general question, na yung mga concerns, yung mga problema ng ating mga OFWs will be addressed by the Department of Migrant Workers headed by yourself?
Well, I'm very confident because this really is just an extension of what we have been doing even when I was head of the Dept Policy Center. I know the issues, I'm familiar with them, but it's also a heavy responsibility because first we need to put up the structure to be able to address these issues and concerns, which would be my priority for when the new administration comes in. Right now kasi Pinky, walang budget, wala. I don't know if they were able to submit a staffing pattern approved by DBM. I'll find out about all these specifics when I guess the transition committees meet.
Yeah, kasi actually a lot of, siguro the question is when will this really be constituted and when will it be operational, yung pong departamento? Kasi there are three necessary elements to this. As you mentioned a while ago, the budget that will be provided for 2023, tapos yung IRR, and ganun din yung staffing pattern as you mentioned a while ago. So when do you think this will be operational?
Well, if you, in accordance with law, when the budget is approved and you have a full consolidation of all the agencies that should fall under the OFW department. So we're looking at January of 2023. But prior to that, presumptive President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos has also instructed Labor Secretary Benny Laguesma, the incoming DOLE chief, and myself to collaborate, make sure that there will be no disruption in services to our OFWs, and in fact look at enhancement of services and programs once his administration comes in.
There needs to be a high level of coordination between those two departments.
Yes.
During an interview, you said not exactly these words, but you were talking about how bad employers actually have it easy as good employers do. Alam naman po, aside from the many problems, yung mga kababayan natin na napupunta abroad, either hindi po natutuloy yung kanilang kontrata, hindi na po nila matawagan yung kanilang mga agency, yung recruitment agencies. Ano yung siguro top 3 things na kailangan yung gawin?
Well, again, aside from making sure the structure and the policies and programs of the new department are in line with law and relevant to our OFWs, I think we need a systems review. For example, Pinky, we handled a case at the Ople Center where a retired Saudi general was able to get domestic workers from the Philippines despite previous cases of maltreatment and abuse. Yun yung sinasabi ko, bakit parang madali pa rin for bad, undesirable employers with previous records to still be able to obtain domestic workers from our country. So definitely a systems review is needed. Second, we also need to look at the urgent complaints and concerns of our OFWs. For example, yung pahirapan sa OEC, yung pagtaas ng PhilHealth premiums, and papasok pa yung mandatory insurance for the balik manggagawa. We need to look at all these deployment costs and also look at how we can also include yung ease of doing business naman, because that's also one of the complaints of the foreign employers. Napakahirap daw na makipag-transact sa atin sa Pilipinas kasi maraming layers, maraming papel, maraming requirements. So we will look at that as well. Marami pang iba, Pinky,
I'm
kasi
sure.
ang bilin din ni President-elect Marcos is to look at how to help the families as well of our OFWs, especially children.
Opo. Yun nga that's also a very big concern. And of course, di ba, Toots, the abuse of our OFWs physically, even mentally, even emotionally, kailangan matugunan yan, because obviously the reason they go abroad is because mas malaking kita nila doon para maipon sila at maibalik dito sa kanilang pamilya sa Pilipinas.
Yes, tama yun. And in fact, dapat nga yung monitoring ng ating mga OFWs bago pa sila umalis. Kung pwede nga, matulungan na sila makapag-apply sa mga tamang ahensya para maiwasan nila yung mga ahensya na never naging accountable, no, for any gaps in services.
Siguro that is the operative word, no? Yung accountability. Even as you mentioned a while ago, if you're a bad employer, siguro, Toots, no, dapat hindi na sila payagan. Dapat walang paraan for them to be able to recruit again our kababayans.
Yes, kasi usually pag may job order na, the reflex action is just to approve, no, and fill up those job orders, no. But I think we should also balance that with really exerting effort to look for the right employers for our workers, dignified approach to migration governance, to the recruitment of workers. Hindi yung parang sila yung nakikiusap, pabor sa kanila na pinapaalis sila ng bansa, when actually they should be treated as clients, no? And,
Right.
and they should recognize the value, the intrinsic value of them as workers. And kasi kung dito pa lang ang tingin na lang natin sa kanila, hindi pa nag-uumpisa welfare case na, yung confidence level nila at the point of actually being recruited, mababa na. And we don't want that. What we want are informed, empowered workers living by choice and also knowing fully well where they are headed to, what kind of culture, what kind of work awaits them.
And the rights, obviously, that they have. Susan, Toots Ople, we wish you luck, and I'm sure we'll be speaking to you again and again. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Salamat, Pinky. Good morning uli.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.